What's going on, guys? Today is the NFC North 2022 NFL schedule ranking and review. Let's get right into it. All four teams. Here we go. The Bears have the ninth easiest schedule in the NFL, with their opponents having a .471 win percentage. Okay, for the Bears, their first preseason game, Week 1 of the preseason, Saturday at 1 o'clock at home versus Kansas City. Week 2 of the preseason, Thursday, what did I call this? Called it something. Week 2 of the preseason, Thursday night, NFL preseason Thursday night special, 8 o'clock on ESPN in Seattle. Then last week of the preseason, closing it out in Cleveland at 7 o'clock on Saturday. Okay, looking at their actual schedule, though. 1 o'clock, this game has potential to be in the NFL on Fox. I honestly think when I actually review it over time, it's probably going to be the Eagles and Lions. When I actually think about it, because the Eagles were on it last year, and they were playing the Lions. And many people thought the Eagles were going to be better than the Lions. So that just gave me the thought that it's either 49ers Bears in the NFL on Fox doubleheader game, or it's Eagles and Lions. One of the two to start out the season. But they're at home versus San Francisco. Last year they played them. They got lost by 11. It was a bad game. See what's going to happen this week. But it's not a fun game to start the season. Week 2 is not much better. They're in Green Bay on Sunday Night Football. That's going to be an L. They have a chance to redeem themselves, though, with a game at home versus Houston, 1 o'clock on CBS. Another game they can win at the New York, 1 o'clock on Fox. They have a chance to beat Minnesota at 1 o'clock on Fox as well in Week 5. Week 6, they're at home versus the Commanders on Prime Video on Thursday Night Football. This game is going to be bad. I think Washington's going to win it, but it's going to be just a bad game. Week 7 at New England Monday Night Football blowout at the Cowboys. Is that going to be the NFL on Fox? That's going to be on Fox. That's going to be a national game. Yeah, NFL on Fox doubleheader game 1 in Dallas. These two games are rough. So they're going to start out 0-2, maybe 1-1. Then they're gonna win one of these games, so they're gonna be like 1-3 at the worst, 2-2 at the best. Here, let's say they're best case they're 3-3, worst case they're 2-4, worst case they're like 0-6, no 1-5. Worst case they're 1-5, best case they're 3-3. They're gonna lose these two games by a lot, probably. Week 9, so that here, worst case they're 1-7, best case they're 3-5. Then they're at home versus Miami, 1 o'clock on CBS. They can win that. Then they're at home versus Detroit. They'll win one of these games. So let's say best case they're 4-5, 4-6. Worst case they're 1-9 or 2-8. Week 11, Week 12 in Atlanta and in New York, 1 o'clock on Fox in both games. They're gonna win probably. Honestly, they're gonna at least win one of those. So if they're like 1-9. Through 10 weeks, they're going to win both of these. They're going to be either, okay, worst case, they're 2-10 through 12 weeks. So, like I said, they're 4-6. They are 4-6. They're 6-6 through 12 weeks. Best case scenario. That is best case. But they're not going to win both of these. Best case, they're 6-6. Worst case, they're 2-10. Or 1-11. No, they're 2-10 worst case. And realistically, they're 4-8 or 5-7. Week 13 at home versus Green Bay, 1 o'clock on Fox. That's going to be ugly. That's probably going to be a national TV game. Yeah, no, it isn't actually. That game's just on, I guess. That game's going to be bad. Week 14 is their bye week, very late bye week, not good for them. Worst case, they're 2-11. Best case, they're 6-7, and most likely they're 5-8 or 4-9. Week 15, though, versus Philadelphia, 1 o'clock on Fox, they're going to lose that. Then they're at home versus Buffalo at 1 o'clock on CBS, they're going to lose that. So, basically, after their bye, through 16 weeks, they're either going to be 5, worst case, they're 2-12, 2-13. Best case, they're 6-9, and most likely they're either 4-11 or 5-10. Week 17... at Detroit, I think they're going to win this game. They're going to either beat them or they're going to win at home versus Minnesota. At Detroit, 1 o'clock on Fox or versus Minnesota. So my guess, they're going to finish like 5-12. Best case, honestly, they're probably going to finish 5-12 or 6-11. Best case, they're 7-10. Worst case, they're 3-14. which they have potential to be. Honestly, they're probably going to be 5-12 or 4-13, but they have potential to be really bad or somewhat respectable. Their schedule isn't really that hard either, though. But like I said, it's very inconsistent stretch. It's not a bad schedule. Hard, easy, hard, meh, hard, easy, hard, meh. So basically, it's a pretty balanced schedule, honestly. It's not a bad schedule by any means, but they're not going to win a lot of games. Let's just be honest. That's just the truth. I definitely think they could get an upset in there, but they're a bad football team. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL. That's just the truth. The Bears are bad. With that in mind, they could still win some games. There's a reason they have 1, 2, 3. They have 3 primetime games? Yeah, there's a reason they have 3 primetime games. So let me put it that way. Okay, Detroit has the 50th schedule in the NFL. 467 win percentage for their opponent. Detroit could honestly be decent this year. We look at their preseason, 6 o'clock, weird time for Friday in Atlanta, at home versus Atlanta. And then week 2 of the preseason, Saturday at Indy, 1 o'clock. Then week 3, Sunday at Pittsburgh on CBS at 4:30. What are they calling that? I'm about to tell you. They're calling it NFL preseason finale on CBS. Lions and Steelers, 4:30 on CBS. That's your last game of the preseason. But either way, we get to the actual schedule. Potential, like I said, the NFL on Fox doubleheader game 1. If you didn't know, they have 15 games on 1 o'clock. Other than the Thanksgiving game, every game's at 1 o'clock. And they're at Green Bay to end the season. Of course, we don't know what that is. Guarantee that's going to be either a primetime game or it's going to be a 1 o'clock game or it's going to be a 4:25 game. It's going to be one of those. Maybe even it's going to be on the Week 18 finale doubleheader. But either way, yeah, like I said, Week 1 versus Philly isn't a terrible game. Versus Washington, 1 o'clock on Fox, again, is not a hard game. Their first 5 weeks are 1 o'clock on Fox, so put it that way. We'll get into that after the bye, though. So, first 2 games, they can start out 2-0. They're not going to start out 3-0, I'll tell you that, because they're going to lose one of these games. But they're at Minnesota Week 3. Week 4, they're versus Seattle, 1 o'clock. So, another game they can win. It won't be easy, though. No, it'll be a good game. So, best case, they're 3-1. They have a really good start. Or their worst case, they're like 1-3 or 2-2. 2-2, I guess. They're not going to win in New England. They're going to lose that. So, 2-3 or 3-2, best case. After the bye, they're in Dallas, NFL on CBS, I think, if I'm right. Yeah, NFL on CBS, Lions and Cowboys, Week 7. That's a game they, it's probably be their saving game. So if they're 3-2 coming off their bye after the really early bye week, they have to make a statement here. If they're going to lose this game, or they're probably going to be meh. If they're going to win, maybe you want to look out for them. They're going to either be 4-2 or like 1. They could start out 1-4. I'll be honest with you. I don't think they'll start out. They'll probably be like 2-3. But if they start out 2-3. Best case they're 3-2. Worst case they're 2-3. Worst case they're 1-4. They could go 1-5 here, whatever. But like I said, they have a chance to make somewhat of a statement. Week 8, they're in Miami. They're at home versus Miami. Whatever. 1 o'clock on CBS. Next 3 games, 1 o'clock on Fox. Versus Green Bay, that's going to be a tough game. At Chicago, at New York, games they can absolutely win. Week 12, Thanksgiving Day football on CBS. Bills, 12:30 CBS. That's a game, so let's be honest. Let's say they're 2-4 after this game. They're 3-4. I'll give them the game at home versus Miami. They're going to lose to Green Bay. So they're 3-4, 3-5. They're going to drop one of these games. 4-6. They're going to lose to Buffalo, but I think it'll be a good game. So 4-7. They'll beat Jacksonville 1 o'clock on Fox. The last 5 games are 1 o'clock on Fox. So versus Jacksonville, I think they're going to win that. Let's say they're 5-7 after Week 13. They could beat Minnesota because they're going to lose them once. They're going to beat them once. So they're 6-7 here. They're going to beat New York 7-7. They're going to lose to they're going to lose to here 6-8, 7-8. I think they're going to either drop one to Chicago. They're going to probably drop one to Chicago. So let's say they're 7-9. They're going to lose here 7-10. That's my record guess. Best case, maybe 9-8. Honestly, they could get about 500. They have that potential. Worst case, 5-12, 4-13. That's what some people think they will be. They definitely have the potential to be a bad team this year, I'll be honest with you. But I do think they'll be okay. They'll be like the Lions. The Falcons were last year. Meh. Which is fine, because they're rebuilding. And they seem to be a lot further along than a lot of other teams, and we saw them play towards the end of the season. They looked like a legit football team, I'll be honest with you. Okay, let's get to the next team. Go Pack, go, because they have the 11th easiest schedule in the NFL. 477 win percentage for their opponents. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, for the Lions, yeah, please like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. But for the Lions, I was about to say, they have three national TV games, in my estimation. They have 0 prime time, though. They, of course, did the Thanksgiving game, but that's about it. Week 1, preseason, they're Friday at San Francisco, 8:30. Then they're at home versus New Orleans. It's at 8 o'clock. Then week 3 preseason Thursday at Kansas City at 8 o'clock. They have 5 primetime games, 6. You know what? 5 primetime games, 6 games that are deemed, like, you could say, I wouldn't say this primetime, but 5 primetime games, 1 London game, whatever you want to call it, and a bunch of national TV games. Week 1 at Minnesota on America's Game of the Week, 4:25 on Fox. That'll be a good game. They lost there last year. I think they'll win there this year. Week 2, Sunday Night Football versus the Bears on Sunday night, versus the Bears. That'll be a good game. I'm joking. That game will be an absolute slaughtering, especially if they lose here. That'll be an absolute blow. They're not going to win at Tampa on America's Game of the Week, Week 3. Very anticipated game, 4:25 on Fox. They're not going to win that game. They just don't. I don't think they'll ever win in Tampa. That's just, when Tom Brady's there, you're not going to win in Tampa. That's just how it works. Maybe in Green Bay, you're not winning in Tampa. That's just how it works. So they're 2-1. They're going to win NFL on CBS doubleheader game 2 versus New England, 4:25 on CBS. So they're 3-1. They're gonna, unless something funky happens, they're gonna beat the Giants on the NFL Network London game special. Week 6 on Fox versus New York. That game might not even be on national TV. That game's 1 o'clock on Fox. They're gonna win that. So they're 5-1 through 6 weeks. They have potential to lose in Washington, 1 o'clock on Fox. Is that a national game? I will check in about 13 seconds. Yeah. You bet it is. NFL and Fox doubleheader game 1. So they're playing on the game 1 of a doubleheader. In Washington, week 7. That's the game they potentially lose. Well, say if they lose, worst case though, they're like worst case. I'll say they're 4-3. That's worst case. Most likely they're 6-1. Then you go to Buffalo on Sunday Night Football. I honestly think they'll win this, and then they'll drop a bomb in Detroit and lose that. That's just the truth. So I think they're going to start out 7-1. They have, this will be a tough game, so they're going to be, let's say they're 6-1 in this game. They're going to either lose this one or lose this one. I do think they have potential to lose week 9 in Detroit. That is a very real possibility. For anyone who doesn't think that, that's the truth. It's the NFL and Fox too. National game, I do think this is the game they will lose though. Because they're either going to lose to Buffalo or they're going to lose to Detroit. It's just how it works. 2 away games, 3 away games straight. They're not, I don't think they're going to lose. Worst case, they're coming into this game 5-2 and they're going to win. If they're 5-2, they're going to win this game. Worst case, like I said, they're 4-3. Then maybe they will win this game. But if they're 5-2, they're going to win this game. If they're 6-1, they're going to win. They have a chance to win this game. Week 9, though, I don't think if they win this, if they're 7-1 coming, 7-1 coming in this game, I don't think they're going to win it. 6-2, they're going to win it. Week 10, America's Game of the Week on Veterans Day at home versus Dallas, 4:25 5. They're going to spank the Cowboys. They always do it. Week 11, Thursday Night Football versus Tennessee. So, like I said, they could be 9-1 coming into this game or 8-2. I'll be honest, I think they'll be 8-2. They're 8-2 coming in this game. They're gonna lose it. I'll be honest. I don't think they're gonna beat Tennessee. They're home, yeah, but I don't think they're gonna beat Tennessee. If they're gonna be 9-2 coming in, they're gonna lose to Philadelphia on Sunday Night Football Thanksgiving weekend. I just think these 2 games, they're going to lose one of them. They probably won't lose at home, though, so I'm guessing they're going to lose this one. But like I said, the Packers are a very consistent football team. They're very good in the regular season. They bounce back regularly. They rarely lose 2 games in a row. That's why they've been the number 1 seed the past 2 years. They had the best record in the NFL last year because they rarely lose back-to-back games. Versus Chicago, 1 o'clock on Fox, that's a joke. Week 14 is their bye. They will know issue last year. Week 15, Monday Night Football, the Rams, they'll beat them. They always beat the Rams there. Week 16 at Miami, 1 o'clock on Fox. That's the Christmas Day NFL on Fox Christmas Day special or something. Yeah, Christmas Day special on Fox. That's going to be a good game. I think they're going to win it, though. Week 17 at home versus the Vikings on NFL and CBS doubleheader game 2. They're going to win that. They played them, what was it? Week 16 last year? Or 2 years ago? No. Last year, they won. That was a bad game. But, yeah, I think they're going to win there because it's going to be cold. Week 18 versus Detroit. That's a game they'll probably just bomb on. So my guess, they'll be 13-4. Best case, they're 14-3. Like I said, they have potential to drop. They're not going to lose to the Cowboys. They can drop either these two games. They're gonna, like I said, they're gonna lose this. That's a guaranteed loss. They're gonna drop one of these two games, or these two games. So let's say they're 14-3. That's best case. Worst case, they're like 12-5. Those are the Packers' schedule. Like I said, they have 5 primary games. How many games do they not have on national TV? I think they have 2 games that are not guaranteed to be on national. 3 games that aren't guaranteed to be on national TV. 2 of them I don't think will be though. So yeah, let's say 2 out of their 16 games that have been scheduled, like scheduled, aren't on national TV. So you got to see a lot of Packers this year. Vikings have the 13th easiest schedule in the NFL. Their opponents having a 484 win percentage. Okay, for the Vikings at Las Vegas, 4:25 on Sunday. Week 1 of the preseason. Week 2 of the preseason Saturday, 7 o'clock versus San Francisco. Week 3 of the preseason closes it out at Denver on Saturday at 9 o'clock. So yeah, that's preseason. Why is it 4? Oh, that makes sense. But still, it's Vegas and it's preseason. But that's kind of expensive because at least their game in Detroit at 1 o'clock. In week 14, you have to pay more to go to Las Vegas week 1 of the preseason than to go to Detroit in week 14. That's kind of ridiculous. But either way, like I said, week 1, America's Game of the Week versus Packers. They have a shot to win that game, 4:25 on Fox. They won it last year. We'll see if that happens this year. Week 2, I forgot what I called this. I called this. What week is it? Monday Night Football special doubleheader game 2 on ABC in Philadelphia at 8:30. That's gonna be a good game. I think they're not gonna start out 1-2. Worst case, honestly they could start out 2-0. They're not gonna 1-1. Week 3 versus Detroit 1 o'clock on Fox. Then their NFL Network will end a game special week 4. Worst case though they're 2-2 through these 4 games. Best case they're 3-1. Week 5 versus Chicago 1 o'clock on Fox. They're gonna spank the Bears. Week 6 at Miami 1 o'clock on Fox. That's gonna be a good game. I don't know who's gonna win that. I'll be honest with you. Week 7 is their bye. Week 8. I don't know. Is that a national game? Did I put that as a national game? I indeed did not. Yeah. Okay. Week 8 versus Arizona 1 o'clock on Fox. That'll be a good game. They'll probably win it though because I haven't seen them lose at home to Arizona in a while. At Buffalo, at Washington, and at Buffalo, week 9 and 10 on Fox. Week 10, I think that is a national game. Yeah, we're in the first game of the Veterans NFL and Fox doubleheader Veterans Day. That'll be a good game. So basically, I say they're 2-2 through 4 weeks. They're either gonna drop a dump on the Saints in London, or they're gonna drop a dump at home versus the Lions. So I'd say yeah, they're 3-4. Yeah, 3-2 or 3-3 or 4-2 through 6 weeks. Early bye, weeks 8 in versus home versus Arizona. Let's say they drop that 4-3 or 4-3 or 3-4. They're gonna beat Washington, I think. Then they're gonna lose to Buffalo. I just think Kirk Cousins doesn't like playing in cold weather. So they're 5-5. They're 5-4 or 4-5. Versus Dallas, 4:25 on CBS. Not a national game. I think they have a chance to win that. I don't think they will though. So they're 4-6 or 5-5. Versus New England on Thanksgiving night special. I think they'll win that. So they're 6-5 or 5-6. Versus the Jets, so spank up 1 o'clock on CBS. And they're at Detroit 1 o'clock on Fox. That'll be a good game. I think they're probably going to lose that. They're either going to beat Detroit once. They could have sweep Detroit. I don't think they will, though. Week 15 versus the Colts. That could be NFL Network triple header. I still think they're going to win it. That's just my opinion on it. Week 16 versus New York, 1 o'clock on Fox. It's probably the NFL and Fox double header game 1 for Christmas Eve. That'll be a good game. They'll win it, though. Week 17, NFL and CBS doubleheader game 2 at Green Bay. They're not going to win that game. Week 18 at Chicago. They'll probably win that, though. So let's see. What was it? 6-7 or 7-6 through these games? Or 6-5. Yeah. 7-5 or 7-5 or 6-6 through 13 weeks at Detroit. Best case right now through they're 8-5 or 7-6. Yeah. Week 15. Like I said, they're gonna win. So 9-5 or 7-7. Week 16. Yeah, they could drop this, so 6 and 7. Week 16, 10 and 5 or 8 and 7. Week 17, 10 and 6 or 8 and 8. Week 18, 8 and 9, 9 and 8 maybe, and then 11 and 11 and 6. So they have potential to be good. I don't think they will though because they're the Vikings. Yeah, that's my opinion on the Vikings. Yeah, that's about it. You know what? They actually might go 10 and 11 and 6, 10 and 7, whatever. That's Vikings schedule. Let's get right to the ranking. Okay, starting off with the Bears. Okay, the Bears, I think, have the hardest schedule in this division because, yes, they have potential to go 7 and 7, 7 and 10, but I like it's a balanced schedule. All these schedules are good. None of these schedules are brutal. I'll be honest with you on that. The Bears, though, they won't win the balanced games. They'll win they won't win a hard game. Maybe one of them. They're gonna have to win more than they're gonna have to win 2 or 3 hard games to at least win 7 games. They're going to have to win at least one hard game to win those games. They won't, though. Say they win one. They're going to drop an easy game. They have, I'd say they have 5 or 6 easy games. They're going to have to win all of those if they want to at least be some good. And then the man games, they're going to have to win 2 or 3 of them. To have a chance, they're going to have to win 2 or 3 of the man games, 1 hard game, and all the easy games. They won't do that. They're the Bears. They stink. That's why I have them in 4th place. I don't think their schedule's bad. I just don't think it fits them perfectly. It's a balanced schedule, though. Vikings 3rd, meh. They have potential to be good. They have potential to be meh. That's the thing about the Vikings. They have a lot of games they can win. A lot of games they won't win. But yeah, Lions 2nd, easy. Like I said, they have potential to be a decent team. It's almost a guarantee. I think they're gonna win at least 5 games, which is big for them. Worst case though, they win 4 games. I don't think they're gonna have the #1 pick again. I'll just be honest with you. Best case though, they win 8 or 7 or 8 games, and if they have a great season, they win 9 or 10. But yeah, the Lions have really good potential. It's not out of left field like the Bears. But that's why I think it's better than the Vikings because the Vikings schedule is a little harder. That's the only reason. But then you look at the Packers. It's literally the same schedule every year. They're gonna spank the teams that think they're good. They have a game on national television every week, and they have some easier games. They have an easier schedule. The Packers are the best regular season team in the NFL over the past 3 years. That's just the truth. They're going to win in Lambeau. They're going to win road games. They're going to win a lot of games. That's how it is. And it's almost a guarantee with that easy schedule. That's just the truth on it. Hope you guys enjoyed those. See you in the next one. And yeah, 2 more ranking and review videos for the 2022 NFL schedule for the divisions. Then we get into roster grading.
Focus on him. Number 11, Deontay Harris. He's at the bottom of the screen. I really like him and what they've been doing with him. Winston's going to take another chance. Wide open is his